Hey guys, welcome to the weekly tarot forecast for the numinous week beginning Thursday, November the 4th. I'm Lindsay Mack, and the card that I've pulled for us this week is Queen of Cups. So, it's election week in America. By the time we meet next week, there will be a new president of the United States elected for this country. In terms of the card we pulled, it has nothing to do with how the election will go. It has to do with how we are honoring, surrendering, working through the already high-pitched, intense energies that are moving through us as a result of this election, but also how we can surrender to the energies as we get closer, actually move through the election, and come out the other side of it. Queen of Cups reversed. We literally couldn't ask for a more apt, appropriate, and helpful energy, believe it or not, for the week. At least how it's being channeled to me. This card also has a lot to do with, well, I'll explain this, okay? So, again, it's election week. An American election, an election that I would argue affects a lot of people, even outside of America. So, with that being said, not going to go on about the election, but it's an intense time for everyone, for all of us. So how we want to work through this week is through Queen of Cups. And she's coming up reversed for us because she's offering us some wisdom regarding that. This week, you want to really keep your eyes on your own paper. You want to mind your own business in terms of emotionally, psychically, intuitively, how you choose to have your antenna up for this time. People are really full of anxiety right now. They're really full of fear. They're really full of victimhood and of a kind of a rageful spirit on both sides. You don't need to be near any of that. If you're someone experiencing that, you're of no earthly good with that kind of energy. You have to ask yourself, what can you do with that? And really, the only way you can roll with all of the intensity going on right now is to take extremely good care of yourself, of your body, and to not get swept up into emotion, hysteria. Just be. Just show up. Just be. Be the invitation for people. Be the light. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to even post about it. To show up and be the invitation to sanity, to light, etc. Disengagement with external emotional factors. There is no question to me that this is related to the election. Just be in your own energy. You can be of beautiful service to the world if you're coming from that place. The same goes if we move beyond the election. This card is expanding us out a little bit bigger. You know, some of you will have noticed that while all of this kerfuffle with the election is going on, which is very important kerfuffle, by the way, but while it's all going on, there's kind of bigger, more energetically high frequency things going on, such as what's going on in Standing Rock. These earthly things, elections, affect so many of us, affect us. Things that happen politically all over the world affect us, but none so much as our water, none so much as our resources. And if we don't pay attention, if we get swept up in the hysteria, the fear, the emotion, we will not be available to answer to the higher calling. We won't be available to listen to Mother Earth. We won't be available for it. So we have to become quiet. We have to remember truly we answer to a higher energy than that of earthly law. This is all Queen of Cups. In kind of a more esoteric way, she's helping us to remember the bigger picture. Be in your own energy. When Queen of Cups is right side up, she is so deep. She is of such high service. She is so empathically aligned, emotionally available. She has an overflowing well. She can go very, very deeply within, and she's not a woman of too many words. It's not about talking. It's really about being. So this is a perfect week to disengage in order to re-engage. Disengage from Facebook, from Twitter, from Instagram, whatever's keeping you like locked in a loop of I'm going to use the word insanity because that is how it feels, right? Whatever keeps you locked in a loop of rage, anger, fear, depression, etc., be willing to release from that for at least a few hours a day. If you can't do that, try to build into your day a walk, some form of meditation, a bath, etc. Beyond that, where you really want to show up is in your everyday waking life. Again, be the invitation. It doesn't matter what you say, even what you do, if you're coming at your actions with a sense of desperation or anger. There's a lot of us who are, the veil is still very, very thin right now. We are in Scorpio season. It's very, very intense. Really, really do not be afraid of the shadow. Acknowledge the shadow, release the shadow, walk from light. It's a very esoteric invitation, but this is a very intense week. There's going to be a lot that's going to be going on emotionally, fear-wise, even if things go our way or they don't. There's going to be a lot of intensity. Be the invitation into light and love. The light is not possible without shadow. This is not a fluffy light. It's this idea that we will move beyond this election. There are deeper things happening with our planet, with our frequency on the planet. We want to be able to say that we put exactly the highest alignment and the highest energy we could into our actions this week. Pay attention to the deeper meaning, to the deeper invitation. You can't do that if you're on Facebook 24 hours a day. So listen to Queen of Cups. Be willing to work to flip her right side up, out of reversal. Because when she's reversed, she can be kind of all over the place. Super emotional, kind of angry, taking on other people's emotions. Clear that away. Be in your own energy. Work very hard to do that this week. I'll be with you, and I'll see you next time. Take care.